Alrighty, so we are going to talk about how to graph a system of linear inequalities. So the first type of problem that I want to go through is one that already has y solved by itself. So this already has y alone, so all I need to do is graph this using the y-intercept first. So this equation or inequality will be graphed in green. The y-intercept is 3, so I'm going to go up to a positive 3. Notice the slope is positive, so my line should be looking like this. Okay, rise 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. Okay. I can follow the same pattern this way, down 2 over 3 this way, okay. Down 2 over 3 this way. Now notice that this right here is greater than or equal to, so that tells me that this should be a solid line. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a solid line. Then I also need to figure out where to shade. So I'm going to pick a test point. I tend to pick 0, 0 as long as it's not on the line, but really you could pick any point not on the line. So plug in 0 for y, plug in 0 for x, and you're going to see, is this a true statement? So 0 greater than or equal to, this becomes 0, and then plus 3. Is 0 bigger than or equal to 3? Well, no, it is not. So 0, 0 was not a solution, so I'm not shading where this was. I'm going to shade the other side. So the way I've been telling students to do this is I suggest having colors in doing this, or you can just use a pencil and do just like some vertical lines one direction. Okay. But now this is a system, so I need to also graph this one. So I'm starting with a y-intercept of negative 3. This is a negative slope, so I'm going to go looking like this. Okay, so up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's a negative slope, I'm not going to go 3 this way. I'm going to go 3 this way. Okay. And then I'm going to go off the graph, so I'm just going to stop there. Notice there's no line underneath here, so this is a dashed line. So I'm going to keep that dashed. Now I need to figure out where to shade here. So again, I'm going to test the point 0, 0. And this inequality is 0 bigger than negative 4/3 times 0 minus 3. So this becomes 0 minus 3. 0 is, in fact, bigger than negative 3. So I'm going to shade the side where that is. So I can go ahead and shade. I'm just going to use pink here. I'm going to do horizontal lines this time just so you can see where the checkered pattern will happen. So everywhere on this side of the red line. Now notice the checkered pattern, or where my shading intersects, is where my actual solutions are. So on the test, I would want this part to be fully shaded. Okay? Anything in this section would be a solution to the system. Now, I'm going to come down here and do number 8 with you. This is one that is not solved for y first. So before I can do anything, I need to solve both of these for y. So I have 3x plus 2y is greater than or equal to negative 2. So to get y alone, I need to subtract 3x from both sides. So I have 2y is greater than or equal to negative 3x minus 2. Then I have to divide both sides by 2. So y is greater than or equal to negative 3 over 2 times x minus 2 divided by 2, so minus 1. Then I can go about graphing this. So the slope is negative 3/2. Y-intercept is negative 1. So graph the y-intercept first. Then my slope is negative, so it should look like this. So up 3 over 2 to the left. Up 3 over 2. Down 3 over 2. Notice this is a greater than or equal to, so this is going to be a solid line. Okay. I'm going to pick my test point of 0, 0. So I'm going to plug 0 in for x, 0 in for y. You could also plug it in right here. Okay. 3 times 0 plus 2 times 0. I'm asking myself, is that bigger than or equal to negative 2? Well, over here this simplifies to be 0. and 0 is bigger than or equal to negative 2. So I am going to shade the side where 0, 0 was. Okay, so I'm going to shade this side right here. Then I'm going to graph my other line. So this other line, I need to also solve for y first. So x plus 2y less than or equal to 2. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I have 2y less than or equal to negative x plus 2. Technically, this is a negative 1 out front here. Divide everything by 2, so I have y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1, right? 2 divided by 2 is positive 1. Go up to a positive 1y intercept. This is a negative slope, so it should look like this. Okay. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Notice this is also less than or equal to, so it is a solid line. Okay. Pick my test point. 0, 0 is not on the line, so I can plug that in here. So 0 plus 2 times 0, is that less than or equal to 2? Well, this simplifies to be 0, and 0 is less than or equal to 2. So I'm going to shade this side. Okay. Okay. Notice the double shaded region is my actual solution part. So everything right here, okay, is a solution. Alrighty, that is how we graph a system of linear equations.